In this episode, you will learn your English level: beginner, elementary, intermediate, upper intermediate, advanced, or expert. You don't need a test. You don't need a teacher. You just need your ears and a little focus. You will listen to 6 short stories, one for each level. If one story feels easy and the next one feels difficult, that's perfect. That's how you find your level. The first level is A1 or beginner. In this level, English is simple and clear. The sentences are short. The words are common and easy. If you can understand this easily, you are at least A1. My name is Anna. I am 26 years old. I live with my parents. We have a small dog. His name is Max. I like my dog very much. We live in a small house. The house has 3 rooms, a living room, a kitchen, and a bedroom. Our house is clean and quiet. There is a park near the house. I go to the park every evening. I walk with my dog. He runs and plays with other dogs. I sit on a bench and watch him. The park is green and beautiful. Every morning I wake up at 7 o'clock. I get up. I eat breakfast in the kitchen. I drink tea. After breakfast, I brush my teeth. Then I go to work. I work in a small shop. It is near my home. I walk to work. It takes 10 minutes. In the shop, I sell food and drinks. I help customers. I take money and give change. My boss is kind. My work is easy. At 12 o'clock, I eat lunch. I eat rice or a sandwich. Sometimes I drink coffee. At 5 o'clock, I finish work. I go home. I am tired but happy. I cook dinner for my parents. We eat together. We talk and laugh. After dinner, I wash the dishes. In the evening, I watch TV. Sometimes I listen to music. Sometimes I read a small book. At 10 o'clock, I go to bed. I am sleepy. My dog sleeps next to me. Before I sleep, I think about my day. I feel good. My life is simple, but I am happy every day.
All right. If you understood this story easily, congratulations. Your English is at least A1. You can understand short sentences and familiar topics. Now let's move on to A2, elementary level. Here, English becomes a little richer and more connected. Sentences are longer, and you will hear more about routines, plans, and daily activities. If you can understand this story without much effort, you are at least A2 level. My name is Mark. I live in a small apartment near the city. It is not big, but it's comfortable for me. There is a small kitchen, a bedroom, and a living room. From my window, I can see a park and some tall trees. In the morning, I often hear birds singing. I work in an office not far from home. I usually walk to work because it only takes 10 minutes. When the weather is bad, I take the bus. I start work at 8:30 and finish at 5. I answer phone calls, send emails, and help my manager with small jobs. My colleagues are friendly. We often talk during our lunch break. At lunchtime, I go to a small cafe with 2 coworkers.
We sit near the window and talk about our families or our weekend plans. Sometimes we laugh a lot because one of my coworkers tells funny stories. After work, I don't go home right away. I usually go to the gym for 1 hour. I do some exercise and listen to music on my phone. When I finish, I feel tired but good. Exercise helps me relax after a long day. At around 7, I go home. Before dinner, I take a shower and change my clothes. Then I cook something simple. Sometimes I eat while watching my favorite TV show. On weekends, my routine is different. I meet my friends in the city center. We go for coffee, walk around, and sometimes watch a movie. If the weather is nice, we sit in the park and talk for hours. Okay, well done. If this story felt easy to follow, your English is A2 or higher. You can understand short, connected sentences about real life, work, and free time. Now get ready for B1, intermediate level. If you can follow the whole story and understand the message, you're around B1 or higher.
My name is Liam, and I work as a computer technician. I fix laptops, install new programs, and help people when their devices don't work. I've done this job for almost 6 years now, and I still enjoy it. I like my job because it's a mix of logic and creativity. Every problem is different, and finding the right solution feels like solving a puzzle. I start work at 8 in the morning. When I arrive, I make a cup of coffee and check the list of repairs for the day. Sometimes the problems are small, a keyboard that doesn't work or a slow system, but sometimes they're bigger and I have to spend hours testing every part of a computer. It can be frustrating, but when I finally fix something, I feel proud and satisfied. My colleagues are friendly. We often help each other when someone has a difficult case. I think teamwork is one of the most important parts of any job. You can learn a lot from people who think differently from you. After work, I like to clear my head. I don't go home right away. Instead, I walk to the park near my office. I listen to music or just enjoy the quiet. When I get home, I cook dinner and watch something online, usually a documentary or a short film in English. In the evenings, I study online. I take a course about new computer systems because I want to open my own business in the future. It's a lot of work, but I believe it's worth it. I want to be independent and help people in my own way. On weekends, I usually relax. Sometimes I meet friends or I go hiking in the countryside. All right, if this story made sense and felt natural to you, congratulations, your English is at least B1. Now let's move forward to B2, upper intermediate level. At this stage, you can understand longer stories and detailed ideas. The speaker sounds more fluent and confident. You will hear natural expressions, comparisons, and reflections about life and work. My name is Nina, and I'm a freelance graphic designer. For several years, I worked in a big company creating logos and advertisements for clients. The job was safe,
The people were kind and the salary was good. But after a while, I began to feel bored and stuck. Every day looked exactly the same. The same office, the same projects, the same conversations. I started to realize that even though everything looked fine from the outside, something important was missing. I wasn't growing. I wanted more freedom, more creativity, and more control over my time. So, 2 years ago, I made one of the biggest decisions of my life. I left my job and decided to work for myself. I remember my last day in the office very clearly. People brought me flowers and said kind things, but inside I was both excited and terrified. I had no plan, no clients, and no idea how to start. But I knew that if I didn't try, I would always wonder what could have happened. At first, life as a freelancer was really hard. I woke up early every morning, opened my laptop, and tried to find work online. I sent messages to small businesses, emailed old contacts, and made a portfolio website to show my designs. Some days nobody replied. Other days a client would ask me for a project but offer to pay very little money. It was difficult to stay motivated. There were days when I worked 10 hours and earned almost nothing. I cried a few times and thought about going back to my old job, but deep down I knew I had to give it time. I told myself that every small step, every email, every design, every new skill would lead somewhere to improve. I started learning again. I watched free courses online, joined webinars about design, and read articles about marketing and freelancing. I realized that being a freelancer isn't only about talent, it's also about communication and organization. You have to learn how to explain your ideas clearly, how to manage your time, and how to deal with different types of clients. Little by little, things started to change. My designs got better, my confidence grew, and new clients started to contact me. Some of them came from recommendations. People who liked my work told their friends about me. That was the moment I knew I was moving in the right direction.
Now my life looks very different. I usually start my mornings around 8. I make coffee, check my emails, and write down a list of things I need to do. My living room is also my office. It's small but comfortable. There's a big window with lots of light, and I've decorated it with some plants and art prints. I like working there because it feels calm and personal, not like the old office with gray walls and noisy phones. When I have a busy day, I can spend hours in front of the screen, completely focused. But I always try to take short breaks every couple of hours. I stretch, drink tea, or water my plants. Sometimes I step outside for 10 minutes just to breathe some fresh air. When the weather is nice, I bring my laptop to a cafe nearby and work from there for a few hours. Hearing the sound of people talking and cups clinking helps me feel less alone. The best part of being a freelancer is the freedom it gives me. I can choose which projects I want to do and how I want to do them. If I want to take a few days off, I can. If I want to work late at night, nobody stops me. This flexibility is something I never had before, and it makes a huge difference in how I feel about my work. I can plan my schedule around my energy, not just around office hours. That's a kind of freedom I really value. But of course, it's not always easy. There are challenges that people don't see. Working alone means there's no one to give you feedback or to tell you you're doing a good job. Sometimes I miss having colleagues to laugh with or someone to ask for quick advice. And the money isn't always stable. One month can be amazing, full of projects and good payments, and the next can be very quiet. That's stressful, especially when you have bills to pay. But I've learned to plan ahead. When I earn more, I save part of it for slower months. Freelancing has taught me to be responsible and to think long term.
All right. If you understood this story easily, congratulations. Your English is near native level. You can follow complex arguments and emotional expression with ease. But remember, fluency isn't an ending. Even at C2, there is always something new to explore, new stories to hear, and new ways to express who you are. And that brings us to the end of today's journey from A1 to C2. You've listened, reflected, and tested your understanding through 6 different levels of English. Maybe you found one level easy and another a little challenging. That's completely normal. Language learning isn't a straight line. It's a process of growth. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Fluent Engo. I'm Mohammed, and until next time, keep going, keep learning, and remember, fluency isn't a finish line, it's a way of life. Bye for now.